Hello, thank you for listening, and a big warm welcome to the very first episode of the Adventure Management Pod, where we will discuss all sorts of topics to do with management and entrepreneurship in the outdoor adventure industry. So whether you are a founder, business owner, a manager, or perhaps an instructor who's thinking of starting a company or an organization at some point in their career, I hope that this podcast has plenty of content to educate, inspire, and entertain you along your journey. My name is Pete Tupper. I'm the founder of a group of outdoor adventure companies in Asia called Imagine, and I aim to share the most useful insights I can from my 13 wild years of entrepreneurship and management so far. And most weeks we'll be joined by a special guest who will help us to unpack each topic in more detail. So without further ado, let's jump into the first episode. This week, the topic is AI and the adventure industry, and we will be joined by an absolute expert in this topic. His name is Steve. He's been in the industry for quite a while now, and I believe he'll be quite the authority to answer any questions that we may have. And we hope to unpack a few topics around this new and exciting and slightly scary field that is AI. So let's welcome our special guest, Steve. Steve, how are you doing today?
Thanks for the warm welcome. It's great to be here.
So Steve, tell me, what are your opinions about AI in the adventure industry? Do you think that AI will be benefiting the adventure industry, or do you think that it may also have some threats?
AI in the adventure industry is definitely a double-edged sword. On one hand, AI can revolutionize how we plan and experience adventures.
For instance?
For instance, personalized recommendations, enhanced safety measures, and even immersive experiences using virtual reality are all possible with AI. On the flip side, there are some threats.
Yeah, no shit.
Privacy concerns, over-reliance on technology, and the potential loss of authentic experiences are valid concerns.
Thanks.
Balancing these aspects will be key to harnessing AI's potential while preserving the essence of adventure. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to pick up especially on the thing you mentioned about loss of authenticity. I'm going to just throw out a kind of a relatively positive message here for our listeners, because I think everyone will be quite happy to hear a slightly positive tone on this topic. My opinion is that actually guides and instructors and even managers in the outdoor adventure industry are very unlikely to have their jobs taken away anytime soon compared to, well, quite a lot of other jobs out there, because that thing you mentioned of authenticity, I think that really is key. I think when people book an adventure experience, they want to have a human being. They of course, AI can do a lot behind the scenes. It can analyze things to some extent, but when you're actually out there, when you're on the river, you're on the mountain, you want to know that you're with a real person. And I just don't see how that can be replaced anytime soon. But I mean, do you have any counter arguments to that?
I absolutely agree with you. The human element in adventure experiences is irreplaceable. Guides and instructors bring expertise, personal connection, and the ability to adapt to each individual's needs in real time, something AI can't replicate. The authenticity and trust built through human interaction are crucial in these settings. That said, while AI might assist with planning, data analysis, or safety protocols, the core of the adventure experience will always need that human touch. So, while AI can enhance certain aspects, it can't replace the genuine human experience that people seek in adventures.
Yeah, well, thank you for confirming that. I think we can all probably breathe a big sigh of relief if Steve himself believes that human beings are somewhat irreplaceable. I'd love to hear actually what everyone else thinks about this topic. Is there anything that you as the audience are particularly worried about? Any jobs that you think AI may replace, or anything that you think AI is bringing that's a really positive thing to the adventure industry? Get in touch and let us know.
Email amp@petetupper.com. That's amp@petetupper.com.
Steve, I wonder, as you know, you're quite an expert on the topic of AI. I wonder if you could just bring up any sort of really fascinating facts that we may not have thought about, anything that can really help to educate us in terms of AI in the adventure industry.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to share some interesting insights. Here are a few fascinating facts about AI in the adventure industry. 1. Personalized recommendations. AI algorithms analyze user preferences and past behaviors to suggest personalized adventure experiences. This makes planning trips more efficient and tailored to individual tastes. 2. Safety enhancements. AI-powered tools can monitor environmental conditions in real time, providing guides and adventurers with up-to-date safety information. This can significantly reduce risks during outdoor activities.
As long as we don't become complacent and rely on it.
3. Virtual reality training. Some adventure companies are using AI-driven virtual reality to train participants. This allows adventurers to experience and practice scenarios in a safe environment before heading out into the real world. 4. Predictive analytics. AI can analyze trends and predict the best times for various adventure activities, helping companies optimize their operations and offer better experiences.
Debatable.
These are just a few examples of how AI can positively impact the adventure industry while still preserving the core human experiences. What do you think about these applications?
I think, to be honest, I got a bit bored listening to that, just because, obviously, with no offense, but you're not a human being. So, it was a bit difficult to focus on that.
No worries at all.
And I think that really is the key point here. I think that when you go out on an adventure, you want to know that that person who's with you, I mean, sometimes guides can be about as boring as that as well. But, most of the time they have some kind of individual human quirks, maybe, a bit of a sense of humor. And it's that social element that, helps people to really enjoy their experience. It's funny, actually, just listening to Steve there reminds me of one time I was planning an adventure for a group coming from another country to Hokkaido in Japan. They wanted to arrange like a summer camp, and they wanted 5 days of, adventure activities. And they were willing to pay some money for the service of putting together this camp.
Sounds great.
And then a couple of days later, because it took a bit too long to put together the itinerary, they came back to me and said, "Oh no, it's okay. We've made an itinerary on ChatGPT. So I don't think we need your services anymore." So I sort of politely said, "Okay, maybe you can share with me what the itinerary was, just out of interest." They shared the itinerary, and it was just absolutely full of junk, like cycling up a volcano and, don't forget to wear your some kind of safety equipment that doesn't exist before you jump in the river of the, which is flowing in the wrong direction, or whatever it was. Basically the point is the search engines and the AI is able to gather data to a certain extent, but they've never jumped in the river. They've never, hiked up the volcano. They don't know what's it really like. I mean, is it, you can cycle around maybe the foothills of the volcano, but you can't cycle once it gets to the steeper sections. But they were saying, oh, you're going to take a nice cycle ride up to the top of the volcano or something. So that's when it can actually get a bit dangerous as well, I think, because you're sort of playing with fire, like enabling something to, sound like an authority on outdoor adventures.
I absolutely agree with you.
And put together itineraries and, potentially give safety advice when it's never touched the ground, it's never been there, it's never been up the mountain, it's never been in the water. There's a certain limit, I think, where you've got to just live it. You've got to be out there, you've got to be, actually physically experienced in this stuff. And hopefully the customers will continue to understand that they do need the services of real human beings. Hopefully there won't be too many like this client group that I mentioned who believe that they can let the robots put together the whole itinerary for them and sort of blindly follow it. I think that would be quite a dark and dangerous shift in the industry if that becomes commonplace. I know that a lot of companies in the outdoor industry now are already starting to get a little bit lazy with perhaps letting AI draft their proposal documents to their clients, just to make it a little bit easier to write about what the itinerary is going to include. But at least there's a human behind it to kind of hopefully check it and edit it before it gets sent, and certainly before anyone actually participates in it. I think the real problem there is when we start to actually believe what the AI has written about what the people can do safely on their itineraries. That's what I think we really want to avoid. Steve, what do you think about all of this? Sorry, I've been leaving you out of the conversation a little bit here.
No worries at all. That's a really important and valid concern. And honestly, one that cuts to the core of how AI is being perceived versus how it should be used. Your anecdote highlights a fundamental tension. AI can synthesize information, but it doesn't replace expertise. Designing adventure itineraries, especially ones involving physical risk, logistics, terrain, permits, weather, local customs, and safety planning,
and celebrity children with personal bodyguards on the trip,
is not the same as summarizing a Wikipedia page. A few thoughts on this. 1. Perceived authority versus real expertise. AI often sounds confident and polished, which can give a false sense of accuracy. But without local, up-to-date or experience-based context, it's basically just rearranging known ideas. It doesn't know the conditions on that trail after last week's storm, or that the boat only runs on Thursdays because the captain's nephew plays rugby.
Yeah, love it.
And 2, safety and liability. Your point about safety risk is especially strong. Blindly following an AI-generated itinerary without vetting it through an experienced guide can absolutely lead to harm. That's not a fear tactic, it's reality. And if something goes wrong, there's no accountability on ChatGPT's end. 3. The human element. Adventure planning isn't just about stringing together destinations. It's about understanding a client's limits, passions, fears, and goals. A good guide doesn't just plan. They translate the wild into something meaningful. That human intuition and relationship building can't be automated.
So true.
4. Framing the value of experts. One opportunity here is helping clients reframe how they think about AI, not as a replacement for experts, but as a tool that supports expert work. Like using GPS while also knowing how to read a map and compass. The real danger is when people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
It might be worth having a soft, myth-busting blog post or discussion with clients. Something like, Why AI Can't Replace Your Adventure Guide, where you show them how subtle but important decisions get made by experts. It's not anti-tech, it's pro-expertise. What's your current strategy when someone says, I'll just use ChatGPT for this?
Thank you, Steve, for joining us today. I know you've got a very busy schedule. There's lots of people wanting to ask you lots of questions, I believe, all the time. Pretty full on from what I understand. So I will let you go. Don't destroy the world. But, so far, I think that you're along the right lines here. I think we can all agree on quite a lot of these topics, quite a lot of the answers that you gave. And wow, that was fascinating.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great discussing these topics with you.
Did you have any final remarks, anything that you think would be particularly useful to share with our audience?
Just to wrap up, I'd say that while AI offers amazing potential to enhance our experiences, the true magic of adventure lies in those personal human connections. It's the laughter, shared stories, and moments of connection that truly define our adventures. So let's embrace technology, but never forget the value of those human moments. Thanks again for having me, and I hope everyone enjoys their next adventure, whether it's guided by a person or enhanced by technology.
Wow, I couldn't have put it better myself. That was actually quite a emotional, heart-wrenching sign off there from you, Steve. So thank you very much. I think you have actually understood somehow at some level what the adventure industry is all about, despite presumably never having experienced an adventure yourself. I understand that your schedule is pretty indoors.
No worries at all. And best of luck with the recording. I'm here if you need anything else.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us on the Adventure Management Pod. We'll be back next week with a new topic and a new special guest. So see you then. Bye.
Email amp@petetupper.com. That's amp@petetupper.com.